I'm Riley.
And I'm Harley, and we are the Farmgirl Fashionistas.
So today we are off the farm.
And we are going to be doing a makeup tutorial.
We're going to be reviewing and testing these Pixi mineral palettes.
Pretty good step to do, I think, before
It's winter, so I have very dry skin.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, it's definitely dry.
So I have this Clinique moisturizer that I use on my face.
I also use a Clinique moisturizer, but this is the Moisturizer Surge, and it says C47 on the bottom. I don't know. So I open mine. Usually there's a little bit in the cap, but so this is what mine looks like. It's pink. It's a very pale pink. I take it on my ring finger. I put it on my forehead, my cheeks, and a little bit on my chin because that's where I tend to be a little bit more oily.
So what I do is I just squeeze some out onto my hand and then rub it. And always wash your hands before this because you don't want to get more grime on your face. And I just rub it in where my skin is usually dry. Usually do it all over my face just so, well, usually my whole face is dry, but if you need more than one squeeze, then I guess do more with that.
That's okay. So our next step is we both prime using the same spray. We use the Prime Perfection Makeup Primer Spray. It's a Salon brand. I don't really know what it's called. If I find out, I'll put it in the description box if you want to use it. So it has this first cap and then a second cap right over the nozzle. So I just pull my hair back a little bit and I do all over my face. So right after that, my face is mostly dry. It's a little bit dewy still. I mix two foundations. They're both a little bit dark for me, but I try to make the perfect match. It is winter. I'm extremely white and pasty at the moment, so hopefully this summer I'll be a little bit more tan. So the first one I use is the Maybelline New York Fit Me in the shade 112, and I also use the Super Stay Full Coverage also by Maybelline, but this one is matte and this one is more of a dewy finish. So I start, this one is in the shade of 112 also, but this one is definitely a little bit darker.
So I do not use foundation. I've never really liked it. So especially right now my skin's pretty clear. So I just start with concealer. Right here I have the Maybelline New York concealer in the shade Fair Claire. And so what I do is I just take a little bit and I put it under my eyes, sometimes in a triangle, sometimes just marks, like this.
So I put both on my hand and I use this e.l.f. brush to stir it on the back of my hand, kind of mix it up, since one is a little more, they're both different consistencies, I guess. So then I also use that brush to put it on my face, just kind of place it where I want it. Nothing in particular, it changes depending on the day and how fast I'm trying to do this. I also don't wear foundation to school. It's just too much, I think. And I touch my face a lot during the day, I think, so it'll basically wear off and be very uncomfortable.
So what I'm doing is I'm just going in with this makeup sponge and blending all of the places that I put concealer, which is under my eyes, right here, which I don't think you need to do, but I do it, and then on my chin, and then on my nose, and on my forehead.
So the next step that I do is, after I blended all that down my neck, because it is a little darker than my skin tone, but not too bad, I take the Fit Me concealer, and this is in the shade Fair, and I just apply this under my eyes and over any blemishes I might have on my chin.
So I just got done with my concealer and blending it on my eyes, and so now we have a base coat there. So now I am going to take this Revlon Photo Ready powder and just set all this concealer so it doesn't come off. With this e.l.f. brush, it's a blush brush, but it works good for this.
So after I finish blending out my concealer, I go in with the same thing my sister used, the Revlon Photo Ready powder. This is a very loved powder. I need to get a new one because I'm almost out. But I set my entire face. I start with my under eyes just so that doesn't crease. And I go all over, and I'm using this e.l.f. powder brush, contrary to what my sister used. And that is basically what I do. I make sure I get every single bit of my face because I don't want this foundation moving throughout the day. So after I set my entire face using the Photo Ready, I go into bronze. I use the NYX bronzer in the shade Medium, and it looks just like this. There's a mirror in there. It's pretty good. So I use the Real Techniques contouring brush. It has kind of a tapered shape, and I just dip in really quick, and I apply it right under my cheekbones. I don't go too heavy with this because I don't want to look muddy.
So I use contour powder, and Riley also used contour powder or bronzer, same thing. And I go in with a lighter shade and then with a darker shade. I use the same brush Riley uses, so I guess I'll wait for her on that.
So as Harley was talking, I did under my jawline, and I do the basic 3 shape that everyone does on the forehead, under the cheekbones, and under the chin. Here you go.
Thank you. So I'm going to go in with the lighter contour color. I always tap it off because I don't want to look like I've been rolling in mud, as she said. And I just apply it under my cheekbones.
So I also do my nose, and I use this brush. I can't remember where we got these. I think they're just makeup brushes that we got at Marshall's or something. So I go on using the same bronzer. I tap twice, make sure I tap the excess off because this is very pigmented. And I just contour my nose very lightly, just doing the sides. I tend to have a problem where there's too much right there, so I try to blend that out as much as possible. Doing the same for the other side as well. And then going under right here a little bit just to give me that little bit of shape. As well as I go under my lip to give sort of that pouty, bigger lip look almost.
So I'm going in with the darker contour right now, and it does look very forced when I'm done putting it on there. So I use this e.l.f. blending brush to blend it back out.
So my next step is doing blush. I use the Tarte blush. It's in the shade First Class, and it looks just like this. There's a gash in it because I hit it with my nail on accident. And I also use this cute brush. It's by the brand Vander. I don't know where that came from, but I thought it was cute, so I bought it. So I dip in here, tap off the excess, and then I smile and put it right in my cheekbones. So that is basically all I do with the blush. Sometimes if I'm a little burnt, I'll put it on my nose as well. But next step is my brows, and I don't do much for my brows because I don't want them to look too forced, or I like to make them look as natural as possible. So I use the e.l.f. brow pencil, and this is neutral brown because they are a little bit darker than my hair, but also not at the same time. It's hard to explain. So this is a 2-sided brow pencil. It's kind of like a pen almost. I don't know how to describe what this is, but it's like that, and it also has a spoolie. So I start by just brushing through my brows with the spoolie, and then I slightly fill in my brows, starting by lining the bottom, lining the end, and filling in the front as needed.
So now I'm going to contour my nose so that everything is all blended. I'm using this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to dip this in the darker contour and go along the lines of my nose here. I don't know what they are called.
Alright, so that's basically all I do. You can maybe tell a difference, I don't know. So I like to make them look as natural as possible, maybe fill in the sparse areas, and that's about it for my brows.
So now that I have gone in with this brush, and I used a darker contour for this, it's very harsh after I do that, so I blend it out with this blending brush with e.l.f. again.
So my next step would be to do eyeshadow. I am going to, as I show you what they are, the first one is the Mesmerizing Mineral palette. This is the Mineral Contour one. It's very pretty, it's very deeper toned colors. The next one is the Desert Sunset Mineral palette. This has some very pretty pinks and different warm toned browns. The third one is the Copper Peach, which I think I will be working in a ton today. Very pretty. And the last one is the Plum Quartz, which is also pretty, and I'll probably use to deepen up my crease today. So, first, before I even go in with the eyeshadow, I like to prime my eyelids, which I did a little bit earlier, but I don't think they look as primed as I'd like them to. I prime my eyelids just by using concealer, so I'm gonna go back in with a touch of concealer on each eyelid.
So I just got done doing my blush. So I use this blush brush. It's our biggest brush that we have. And I am just using the blushes from this Complete Face and Eye palette. There's two shades of blush. There's this lighter one and the darker one. And usually I only do the lighter one, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I like, as Riley said, I really like rosy cheeks. I think they're really pretty. So I go a little bit deeper on mine. And that is the end of me using this palette. Now I'm going to be moving to eyeshadow like Riley.
So what I did to prime was I just put a little bit on each eye. I blend it out with this small beauty blender, and then I'm going to take a fluffier brush like this one, and I don't know where this is from, and I'm just going to swirl it around in the powder and continue to set my eyelids.
So I am actually going to wait for Riley so we can both see which palettes we are going to do. I am going to be going for a more pink look, a more warm look.
I'm going to be doing kind of a copper, peachy, I don't really know yet. I'm going to go with the flow and see what I can come up with. So we have 4 of these palettes as I named off earlier. So let's start by unboxing. I think I'm going to use this one and some of this one. I don't know, we're just going to switch up, see what we want to do. So the first one I'm going to unbox is the Plum Quartz one. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out.
So the first one I'm going to be unboxing is this Desert Sunset one. I think this is a really pretty palette. Definitely going to be using this a lot.
So this is how it comes out. It's a normal hard-covered palette.
It's really pretty.
You just open it from the bottom, and it comes with this little applier thing, which a lot of people don't like to use these, but I personally like to use them to put pressed pigments on my lids, so I might save. And I think this one is really pretty. It's very cool toned, plum colors, obviously, and they each have a little bit of a shine, so that'll be interesting.
Here's this palette. I really like this. I love these colors. There's like, you first start out with these really pretty like coral color and then like an orange color. And then you have like this brown, this really dark one, and some shimmer shades. So I really like these actually.
So the next one I did was the Copper Peach, which is one that I will be working in a ton today, I can already tell. This one has very warm toned browns, it has a darker brown, and some highlight colors, so I think that one will be really pretty for what I'm trying to do today.
So I'm now
Mineral Contour palette.
love that shade.
So yeah, this has some pretty good transition shades. This is darker, I think, so maybe better for like eyeliner. So that's that. I think that I'm going to start off in this one, just as a transition color. And do they have shade names? I don't think they do, so I'm just gonna have to show you. So I'm gonna start off with this big fluffy brush. Gonna make sure it's a little bit cleaner. I haven't cleaned my brushes in a while. And I'm gonna go in with this second one down from the top and just use that all over my eye as a transition color.
So I am going to be starting with the Copper Peach palette, and I'm going to start with like a really light base, much like the one I already have on my eye.
So I finally decided I'm gonna be using the same one that Harley has. Do you remember? This is the copper one, right?
Mm-hmm. Copper Peach.
So I'm gonna be going in using this second one from the end and just taking that on a smaller fluffy brush, tapping off the extra and putting that in my crease.
So as you can see, kind of, this shade is not very pigmented, but it did lighten up the innards of my eyelid. So I kind of want to do a like a transitioning on my eyelid, or it's gonna go darkest in this corner and then all the way to light. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning with these colors. Next, I think I'm going to go still with this Copper Peach palette. I think I'm going to be going in with this color, this shimmer color. So yes, let's see the other ones.
So I'm just dipping in multiple times. They're not the most pigmented thing in the world, which is also not awful, especially because we don't want to overdo it. So they're very buildable, as I can see, and blending pretty well. So right now I'm still just starting to define my crease with this warmer toned brown and blending that pretty good. So I have kind of a sort of simple shape of what I wanted to go for. Now I'm going to take this brush, I think. Actually, maybe not. I think I'm going to be taking this brush. I got this brush, I can't remember where, but it's very pretty. It's marble and it's kind of got a tapered end. And I think I'm going to be going into this Sunset palette and using this more warm toned one right here in the middle. It's kind of got an orangey tint, tapping off the excess and putting that in the crease and defining it a little bit more.
So that shade didn't do a lot for me. Just kind of made my eyelids shimmery. So I'm going to be going in with a new brush. This is a sort of fluffier brush. And I think I'm going to be going into the darker shades in the corner and then going out, just blending it from there. I think that's a better approach. So I'm going to start.
So many decisions.
I actually think I'm going to start with the palette Riley is on, and I'm going to start. This is kind of a bold move, but I am going to start with this dark pink color and blend it.
You do use this.
I'm gonna see how this goes.
Send it. Not bad.
It's actually pretty.
That looks good on you.
Thank you.
So what we found is that each of us have a very different style of what looks good on our eyes. Harley has more rounded shaped eyes and mine are more of an almond. Her eyes are bigger than mine and they are blue, so much brighter colors will pop on her. Mine are kind of a darker hazel. It really depends on the day and what
Green,
they look like.
aqua, literally.
There's something. There's
Purple.
something. Definitely not. So I stick to the more copper, darker browns because I think they look best.
Usually I stick to like the pinker shades, the lighter shades. Definitely blending looks better on my eyes, I think. So I think that looks pretty good. I was scared it was gonna be like so bright, but
you didn't use that much, so it's very buildable. It looks really good.
I like it.
So I went in with this brush and defined my crease a little bit more, and now I'm just blending it together with this fluffier brush. And I'm liking how this looks, so I think now I'm going to take an e.l.f. brush, just like this. It has kind of a rounder top, and I'm going to start deepening the outer corner. And I think I'm going to use this copper. Oh, I'm sorry, you're using it. I'm going to be using this. Is this the copper one?
Yes, that's the Copper Peach one.
Oh, it says it on the back. So I'm going to be using this Copper Peach one, and I'm going to be using this color right here with a very light hand to just start deepening up the outer corner. Tapping off the excess very well and placing that where I want it to be.
So this is looking really good so far, and I'm far from done. I have decided that I think I'm gonna go for a more like, definitely what I set out to do, like a more peachy kind of pink look, but I'm also gonna go for like a sunset kind of look. So the next color I'm going to go in with is this orangey color, right next to the pink. I really like the looks of this color. Really
so I just use this brush to kind of place the color where I want it mostly, make it a little bit pigmented. And then I go back in with the brush that I was using to deepen the crease, and I blend that out to make it look smooth and even.
I really like that. That kind of like blended them together really nicely.
Pretty.
So this color, I really like it. You definitely need to like build it up, but it's a really good color to blend with, and it blends really well with this pink actually. I think I'm going to darken up the outer corners of my eyes even more. Haven't really decided what color with yet. I think I'm going to go in with this. Hang on, I gotta decide first. I'm going to go in more with this pink color and see if I can really darken it up. And if I still want to darken it more, I'm going to go in with this shade right there. I think I'm going to switch brushes actually.
So I'm glad I decided to do this. I think it looks really pretty. I think that purple and brown goes well together on my eyes.
Really good.
I don't know, it happens, you know?
I'm switching to the brush that Riley was using earlier. I think she got this from Amazon. I think they're really nice brushes. Really
cheap and efficient.
Yay!
So I'm liking the way this is turning out. I actually don't think I'm going to go any darker because I do want this to still look pretty subtle, if I can even say that. So I think I'm going to put a shimmer on my lid. And I'm going to go into the Copper Peach palette and think that this is the most shimmery in here. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to put it on this brush. It's a flat brush. It has blue eyeshadow on it right now. I was experimenting. So I'm just going to put some on the brush, and then I spray it so it's a little damp with this. I don't know what this is. It's kind of like setting spray almost. And just a little bit so it's damp. My scrunchies are on that. And then I'm going to just put that on the middle of my eyelid.
So I really like that I went in with that pink again because I really like how it darkened it up. I think I'm going to use just a tiny bit of this color to darken it up just a little bit. I think that's what it needs.
So spraying that definitely helps a lot because I think, didn't you try to put this one on your eye?
What?
This one?
Yeah.
So spraying it definitely made it a lot more pigmented, and I really like how that looks. So I'm just gonna try to get it as precise as I can, place it where I want it, and then move on to the other eye.
So I did not like the way that dark brown looked, so I'm going back in with the pink to darken it back up again. I don't know what world I was in. Put that on there.
See it? And my next step is going to be highlighter. Highlighting the inner corner, highlighting my cheeks, and my brow bone, if I can find it. Oh, here it is.
What about your,
yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
mascara?
I'm gonna do it too. I do it differently. So just doing my cheekbones with my highlighter, I use this fluffier eyeshadow brush because I think it works really good. And we use the e.l.f. highlighter. This is Moonlight Pearls. It's really pretty and blinding, and I love it so much. As you can tell, there's a big dent in the middle. Putting that on my cheekbones.
So I just added the shimmer from the Copper Peach palette, and it really tied this all together because it was lighter and it's like blending up into that. So that is all I'm going to do on my eyes. I really like these palettes. I would give them a 10 out of 10. I can see where they wouldn't be as opaque, but I think they're really good for blending, and
they're very buildable.
Yes.
10 out of 10. I really like these palettes.
Yeah. I think we're going to use these a whole bunch outside of YouTube and into our normal lives. I think they are really good for like a lot of causes, or not causes, a lot of things. So after that, Riley does highlighter after that. I think I'm going to do my mascara now.
Today, Junior.
So I'm going to do my mascara now. Usually I really like to get my eye curls. So usually I really like to curl my eyelashes a lot because I love the way it looks. They're like my favorite part. And I usually use Riley's eyelash curler because that gets the job done like really good. I usually overdo it a lot.
But now she has her own eyelash curler, so she can stop using mine.
So this is a lot cheaper one than Riley's, and it won't like go all the way. So this is definitely gonna curl my eyelashes, but maybe not as much. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that real quick. Ooh.
So I did go in with this fluffy brush, doing highlight on my cheekbones, and then I did the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose, and then using this. So first I'm going to do mascara, just to blend the lashes together. I use this eyelash curler. I can't remember where I got this. Sally Hansen is the brand. So I just curl my eyelashes really quickly. Don't care too much about this since I'm going to be putting on false eyelashes. Honestly. But if I don't wear false eyelashes, which is like to school, I'd never wear false eyelashes. I curl them quite a bit. I love the look of curled long eyelashes.
So actually that went pretty good. I think it's just as much curl as I normally do. And so I'm going to go in with the, once I stop crying, I really like this CoverGirl mascara, but I think I'm going to go over,
While she makes a decision, I am done curling my eyelashes. I'm going to be using two mascaras. The first one I'm going to use is the Tarte, what is this? Tarte Amazonian Clay, and it says gifted because it was a gift. It's a small sample size. This is really cute. This is a really cute packaging. And the second one I'm going to be using is the Lashcraft Big Volume Extreme, and this is by Sephora. So this one and then this one.
So I made a decision. I'm going to be using two mascaras. I'm going to be using this CoverGirl one first on my eyelashes, and then I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. mascara, which is really good. Actually, like, look at that. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl first. I haven't used this one in a while, but I remember really liking it. I think it's a great mascara.
So I did one coat of this. This really separates the eyelashes and adds some color. And then this is the volume one. I go a little bit lighter with this because I don't want my eyelashes to look too clumpy. So I do this right after. Oh wow. Just a few brush strokes.
I might not even do e.l.f. Just to, like, look how bold this makes my eyelashes.
Pretty. So that is all I do. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I put on the eyelashes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you wanted. So I use these lashes from the Lash Liner system. They come in this pretty blue box. I have them out and ready. These are magnetic eyelashes and have a magnetic eyeliner that pair with the lashes. So basically what you do is you apply the eyeliner and you let it dry for 2 minutes, and then you put the eyelashes on and they'll stick straight to your eye, and they work really good and they're reusable, and I absolutely adore them because I think they're so pretty. What? What did you do?
You could have just seen what I did in the video. Oh my god. I'm really confused. Like, this ball part like touched like my eye, and I like freaked out and made a weird face. Oh my god. Oof. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I think it's fine. So really quickly, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I basically do the same thing that Riley does. I just comb them out with the spoolie.
So I'm going to be applying my first.
So after I comb them out, I use the end of the brow thing like Riley does and just kind of gently go through them. I literally just started doing this, so if it looks bad, oops. Hurry up, the battery's gonna die. So after I do that, I go back in with a spoolie and just comb them out for the last time. Okay, now I am actually going to set my face with this. What just went flying off of there?
Cap is messed up.
That always scares me because it makes me think like my mascara is gonna run like. Oh. So while my face is still wet, I'm actually going to put highlighter on. And I'm going to wet the brush a little, just a tiny bit, before I put my highlighter on. Sorry. Then I dip it into the highlighter and apply it. Oof, super glowy. It's fine. Look, it literally blinds them.
Blend it.
I'm blending.
So I'm having a little bit of trouble with this eyelash. I think I need to put more eyeliner in there to let it dry a little bit. I'm gonna have eyelash half on right now.
So I apply my highlight on my cheekbones. Love highlighter. So the last step I'm going to do is apply these Wet n Wild lipsticks, which is going to be really fun because I never really do that. So I'm going to start with this shade first. They're super hard to take off. Looks like this. These are really pigmented and we don't usually use these though.
Alright, so my lashes are mostly on at this point. I'm still getting used to this whole eyelash thing. What? It looks good.
I'm going over it with
Yes. Okay. So these eyelashes are on. They look pretty good. They are easy to use and efficient. So I'm going to be also putting on lip gloss, the Lip Plumping gloss in the shade Sparkling Rose from e.l.f.
As you can see, this is very bright. So I also have the second color here. I think it's like a shimmer color. I'm going to put on over that.
So good. So this one is especially really good. It's very natural. And I don't like lip glosses where I can't feel like I can't talk. I definitely can talk and feel normal with this on. So I think that this is my look almost completely done. I think the only thing I have left to do is set my face. So I'm going to do that really quick.
So that didn't really help. So I'm kind of just dabbing this a lot.
So I think, what? Ew.
Okay.
Just leave it, it looks fine.
So that did not do much for me. I'm just gonna take Riley's lip plumping gloss and put it on and call it a day. Cause we're not gonna talk about this.
So I really enjoyed making this video. I think it was really fun to do something different and be here together doing something else that we enjoy other than farming and doing our makeup. And I think it turned out really good. These Pixi palettes were so cute and so good, so buildable. Also sheer at the same time, so you couldn't get too carried away. And they're overall like a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love them.
Yeah, these palettes,
we didn't use
nothing bad to say about them, really.
We didn't use
Here's the finished looks.
We'll do some close-ups and insert these here. We want to thank all of you for watching. You should check out the rest of the videos on our channel. We're going to be posting a ton more. I think we're
think
done.
that concludes this video. It was really, actually, I love doing these videos. It was so fun.
So,
Literally,
Pixi
so
palettes
fun.
are a 10 out of 10 yes. I guess we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.